plant them, and I'll have wonderful early girl tomatoes. No, you won't. It will be a big surprise to you. You will have one of three things happen. It won't do anything. It will make a beautiful plant with no fruit, or it will make a beautiful plant with fruit that tastes nothing like an early girl tomato. It won't taste anything like the parent plant. It will revert back to some of the things it was crossed with. So you won't get what you thought you were going to have. So that's our major problem with hybrids. They have some really good, farmers that grow huge amounts of crops. They can do those hybrids, and they all come to fruition at the same time. You harvest them all at once. How many of you have ever grown green beans, and you go out there, and they all ripen at the same time, and you have 10 rows of them? Yeah. And you are forever canning beans. Well, that's what hybrids will do. They'll all come in at the same time. And that's wonderful if you're a farmer and you want to harvest everything at one time. Okay, GMO. How many people do not know what GMO is?
Bring me a cup of coffee.
Okay, good. We got some coffee. GMO stands for genetically modified organism. A genetically modified organism is one in which you have one species crossed with another species. For instance, you might have a tomato that has genetically been infused with the genes of something totally different, not a tomato. And we know of one that has been crossed with a flounder. A tomato crossed with the genes of a flounder. Now there was a really good reason, according to science, to do this. The reason was that they could get a tomato that would grow in the cold climates, because flounders like cold water. So they did it, and it worked. They had a tomato that would actually grow in a cold climate. However, do we know what the risk is with a GMO tomato? We have not a clue. No clue. Have any of you ever taken a prescription medication for anything? Okay. If you go to the drugstore and you buy a prescription for your flu or cold or your sinus infection or your high blood pressure, that medication that you got at the pharmacy has been tested for years before they put it on the market where you can purchase it. The FDA says we got to have all these tests, and you can't buy this medicine until it has been tested to our satisfaction. Yes.
And then it comes with a label that says, but it may also cause this, that, and the other.
Right,
we need 5 things as well, so good luck.
Right. So, but anyway, you have to have a lot of tests. GMO products have not been tested as to what they will do to you. Now, the Food and Drug Administration does not label GMO foods. There are no labels on your food that tell you whether the products in there are genetically modified or not. And so you don't know for sure what you're getting. But there have been no tests to find out what the risks are to your health. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and I think I can speak for Jack on this as well, as far as we are concerned, God knew what he was doing when he made plants to start with, and we don't need to mess with crossing species. Well, there are some tests being done now to determine risks of GMO plants on animals. And they are coming up with things like digestive problems, infertility, heart problems, cancers, all kinds of things. And so, I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, it seems like I just really don't want to be a guinea pig.
We have choices.
Right.
It's not the only
And there
thing.
are some active groups out there wanting to get the government now to force these companies that use genetically modified foods to label them on their foods in the grocery. But right now, when you go to the grocery store, you are likely getting some genetically modified foods. For instance, 94% of all the soybeans grown in America are GMO. 88% of all feed corn is GMO.
Is that Monsanto?
It's Monsanto, plus a few other companies. 95% of all sugar from sugar beets is genetically modified. And keep in mind that any kind of a product that you go into the grocery store to buy that has corn, sugar from sugar beets, or soy in it is going to most likely have genetically modified foods in it.